Greetings! Welcome to the devlog for hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades. We're going to start, as always, with a quick sound check. Make sure speakers aren't up too high. Oh, come on, get it! Get it! Get it! Oh, I'm awful. I'm awful. There we go. And that's it. Wonderful. Could be better, but still wonderful. So what have we got for you this week? Well, I am in the midst of working on a huge facelift and remaster to Worst World. You can see a whole bunch of gray boxes out here as I'm gray boxing certain additions, rearranging a bunch of stuff. I've just finished redoing all of the collision for this level. This was all built back in, I think, 2017 initially, and I didn't understand the performance ramifications of a lot of the ways that I built things, and so I've had to go back and redo it. On the plus side, by doing so, this scene's going to run way better, and actually Return of the Rotwieners, which uses a bunch of these props, will also run better as a result. The main thing that I want to show you folks today is an answer to a problem that has always been in this mode. Looks like it is playing a voice clip there that I haven't disabled. One moment. There we go. So every time I bring up this scene, folks will go, "Oh my gosh, the horseshoes." If for those who haven't played this scene, there is a 14-hole horseshoe sequence that is difficult. It's difficult, especially if you're not using 5-1s, which is what it was originally designed for. Also works great in the index controllers because the lighthouse tracking that these runs run on have a very high maximum speed that they can detect out of the controllers, and they're really temporally accurate. So if you make flicking motions with those controllers, you can get a lot of instantaneous throw speed in a way that camera-based tracking can't. Along that lines, when I designed it, I made it barely doable in the first place. And so you put those two things together, and a lot of folks have been like turning off gravity and finding other ways to succeed at it for many years, and I don't blame them. But in doing the remaster, we wanted to make it such that that was an enjoyable sequence of challenges, not just punishing. And so I would like to present to you the solution. Today, I give you the shooter. Yes, that's right, a portable, not so portable, aimable horseshoe cannon. So this has an integrated magazine into it. We can pull a horseshoe out of that magazine, mount it on the front. We have a calibrated, absolutely chonktastic rangefinder here, a ladder sight. So that's 25 meters, that would be 50, that would be 75, and that would be 100. So you rotate it like this. I still need to add an interaction that lets you pull it up and down, so you don't have to like hunch over to use it. I know my back would be too sore for that. And then we just aim it at something. Let's just shift over here, aim it at one of our pots, and ammo! Oh, ha! Chain reactions are delightful. That is just super satisfying. So the way this is actually, the course is going to work, and if you still want to actually just pull a horseshoe out like this, grab it and throw it. Oops, wow, just demonstrated how out of practice I am. Oh, you know what? I haven't added the throwing velocity boost to these yet. I'm still working on a whole bunch of this. So that's why that did not go very far at all. But once I actually do that, it should. Oh man, this is actually as far as objects go with 1.0 velocity. There we go. So you'll still be able to throw them if you want. I'll give them a good velocity boost out of your hand. But for everyone else who is sane and has things to do, you will be able to use the wonderful horseshoe cannon. I still haven't figured out. Sometimes it just ricochets off them. Yeah, like that time, it totally didn't blow them up. I'm still trying to figure out why. Oof, that would be a headache, wouldn't it? But yeah, sometimes then when I hit them right in the middle, let's see if we can. Nope, just that time. As I said, some glitches to work out. I just got this operational. Let's see if we can hit that. Let's see. Just say it's about 75 meters to that cactus. Let's line it up. Yoink! Maybe overshot it. Maybe it's more like 50 meters. Yeah, there we go. See, it's going to be way more tenable for getting the long-range posts for sure. Wonderful. Oh, I love it. So there you have it. H3's cursed horseshoe cannon. I have to admit, the moment we put this thing together and mounted it on a fixed post, I was like, I'm going to have to ask Stefan to make a meat portable version of this, because this is just too weird and too cursed to not be an actual weapon you can take on a take and hold run. So yeah, the other thing that I wanted to show you a preview of, I'm still working on this, is the Vendmatic. So the way that this scene originally worked back in the day was that there was simply a bunch of plinths around the center with the 8 guns that were Wild West guns when this scene was originally made. And you just grab those and use them in the scene. You use them for the combat, what have you, and there wasn't really any restriction. Which meant that for the bit of combat that did happen in the scene, there was no real difficulty curve to it. You could just walk over, take the most powerful gun, do that. And I wanted to make things, a little more interesting and richer progression. And so I've reimagined some of the stuff that I have done in other prototypes over the past couple of years to give you the Vendmatic. The idea basically is that all of the different games and challenges in this scene will yield prizes in the form of these little woodblock playing cards. There's 32 of them in all. There's a 2, a 7, a 9, 10, and all the face cards of your four suits, and you can use these to purchase things. So that 2 of hearts can be thrown in here, and we can hit this button, boop, and buy ourselves a Derringer. I don't know why you'd ever want to buy yourself a Model 95 Derringer. This thing is so weak that it's actually incapable. I don't think it does anything to the botwursts. Yeah, are we even hitting him? I have no idea. Better off just throwing it at someone. Actually, yeah, we'll just retain that here and purchase something a little bit better. What does our 2 of spades get us? That gets us our rolling block, so we can indeed use this and throw it against our physics active button. I had so much fun implementing all of these little features here. So yeah, so these have a little trigger in them, so they respond to presses with the hand. You can poke at them like this. It's actually quite satisfying how you can just jam a wooden block in between them and it doesn't completely glitch out. And then just balance another one on top. Perfect! See this folks? That's what VR is all about. So yeah, so that is in here, and there's going to be, I think I've planned out in my spreadsheet, 18 or 19 different Vendmatics. You can actually see 2 of them over there. There's some ones for utility items and other pocket pistols. And so there'll be commons that'll all be common, uncommon, and rare. I'm sorry, cards. And you'll be able to use those to get various sorts of equipment, solve puzzles, in the game, etc. So hopefully it'll be a sort of rewarding system that links everything together and basically just makes it feel more formally like an adventure game, which was always my intent. But as I said, when I initially built this scene, I was still barely into making this kind of VR. Was still learning a lot of things. So in a big way, I'm just trying to go back and bring all of the different things that I've gotten better at doing, the polish that I'm good at doing, and just a bunch of sick new assets to give what really is still my favorite scene in the game a second life and a much deserved tune-up. So I hope you folks are excited for it. Be coming later this year. Anywho, let's jump out of VR to do the most important thing that we do each week. Yo, that's right. It's time for Hot Dog or Not Dog. I kind of messed up for this week in that I went to prepare my hot dog for this, and the package of hot dogs that I had this weird white film growing on them. I don't know how they managed to go from perfectly fine to science experiment quite so fast in the fridge, but they were not edible. and so I've instead taken one of the things that I tend to actually eat nowadays because I've been on a diet. This is a nice chicken sausage. I know it's not as hot dog as I would prefer for this segment, but at least in form factor it is. And the thing we're going to be trying here, I don't think I've had in a very, very long time. But it's the label on the can just jumped out at me. I don't know how many of you have ever tried Manwich, the original. Just add meat. I mean, if that isn't a clear instruction, I don't know what is. This is basically what is can also be thought of as like Sloppy Joe in a can. Just add this to some ground beef, and there you go. Although, if memory serves, I don't think this stuff is actually nearly as sweet as I remember a Sloppy Joe being as a kid. Sloppy Joes are like candy level sweet. It's why they make such a great school lunch for kids. So yeah, don't worry, I'm not using it directly out of the can. I did warm some of it up, and so just like before, we're going to pour the contents of our coffee cup. It has definitely solidified a little bit as it's cooled. It's higher viscosity than I'd expect. Kind of closer to, thicker than most pasta sauces. Yeah, not nearly as sweet as the Sloppy Joe. Very tomatoey. All right, here we go. Hot dog or not dog, Manwich original. Yeah, I mean, it's good enough for Sloppy Joe. It's good enough for a hot dog. That's great. I don't know. Maybe you and I are discovering something about my goblin-like eating habits. At the same time, maybe it's just because I've been eating a diet of like poached chicken breast and vegetables. Pardon, had a mid-sentence sneezing fit there. So yeah, maybe I've just been eating too much diet food, but this is like ambrosia right now. This is just like a sausage on a bun with Manwich original is just hitting the spot. That's the stuff. I would say that's definitely a hot dog. I mean, it makes sense. If ketchup works on a hot dog, then a different kind of tomato puree. There's just more like bell pepper, chili pepper. Yeah, spices. In a pinch, this is definitely a meat that you can just add to Manwich and it works out fine. So, anywho, I'm going to just get on back to work as well as finishing this hot dog. And I wish you all a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you folks all next week with another patch for the game and another huge round of bug fixes. Keep sending those in. Please keep posting them to the Discord bug report section. I have been integrating them all in. My to-do list is like 250 things long now. It's a little out of hand, but I'm super encouraged that people are just like finding little bits and bobs that they're like, hey, this could use a fix, this could use a little improvement, this little interaction is glitchy, etc. And I'm just gonna try to tear through a bunch of them every day between now and when we eventually hit 1.0. So, anywho, have yourselves a wonderful weekend. I'll see you soon. Peace.